Morning, guys. I hope that I'm in good focus. So I realized that I had said that I was going to come on here and kind of talk about like just my spiritual journey, in the journey that I've been on for quite some time now. And then I realized that I dropped a vlog. I clearly dropped that I was, at church. And I mean, I think like the last time you guys really heard me talking about church, I was still talking about, church that I was streaming, which I usually go back and forth and stream Transformation Church. So Michael Todd at Transformation Church, or I will watch I watch Sarah Jakes a lot. So Transformation Church was more of a church that I streamed on Sundays, and then Sarah Jakes Roberts, I like to watch her during the week, and I'll let you guys know like what I mean by during the week and how frequently and all of that. So let's just start it off with just kind of my background. I was raised as a Christian. Ever since I was little, I can remember, we wake up, we go to church. We attended a Methodist, an African Methodist church when I was little, and I just remember it being very, very, very like black. So like our church was black. We had a pastor. He was kind of older. Every Sunday the kids went downstairs for children's church. I vividly remember that. And when I was younger, the lady we would go downstairs with, her name was Charlene Nash. She was the nicest lady I've ever met in my life. And she passed away before we left the church. So that became just awkward because then other people started going, and she wasn't like that old, so it wasn't like as a kid you're like, well, you're not even that old. Please don't mind my broken nail. It's so annoying. So yeah, that was that. So we went to that church up until at least the time I was about, I'm going to just be safe and say I was 14. When I turned 14, yeah, it was around like 14. So when I turned like 13, our senior pastor had actually left the church, and he moved down south, just kind of age and just getting up there in age, and he retired and moved. We had another pastor come in, and that is when, even at a super young age, I just seen the shift. I seen how, he came into the church and he just ripped it apart. And if a kid is seeing this, that's a big thing, because, usually that's something kids don't recognize, don't see. But no, you start seeing members leave left and right. And when my own mom left, that's when I knew, like, whoa, this is bad. Because, my mom was that mom, like, on Sundays, she was in the choir. It was such, like, a traditional church, like, that they would march in the morning. So, like, how, like, now the praise and worship team just kind of walks up to the pulpit or whatever? or stage, wherever your church is. No, they used to march down the middle of the aisle. And, and they would be like singing the song. It's so funny because my mom would literally be like, if y'all ain't ready by the time I'm ready to walk out this house, I will leave y'all. I need to march in with the choir. And they used to be like, girl, bye, you so pressed. And so, yeah, it's just this little memories like that, though, that makes you like, whoa, like, it was really, old school. So yeah, we ended up leaving that church. When we left that church, we started going to church. My cousin had recently, I don't even know if they were married. No, they weren't married yet. My cousin had recently started dating, which is now her husband, but his dad has his own church. So it's a small church, very family, like the church is the family. The family is the church. The family, not the church is the family. The family is the church. So very tight knit, family, small church. And so we started going there. One of my biggest ministries in church has always been to dance. I've told you guys a million times. I went to a performing arts school, and during the month of December, also sometimes sprinkled in our spring concert, but definitely in the month of December, we did a lot of praise and worship. So we did a show called The Coming of the King. I actually think this last year, 2017, was the last year ever for Coming of the King, ever. So Mr. Green, if you're watching this and you want to sell it to me, I'll open up a dance company. Because Coming of the King was like that show that everybody was just like, we had an actor, narrate. It was just very well put together. So the beginning of Coming of the King, the first half of the show was typically the nativity scene and, just the nativity story. And then the second half was typically praise and worship. So that's when we would do the more, the latest gospel hits. I think my favorite that we ever did was God Favored Me, number one. Number two, if I had to say my second favorite, it would have to be God is Able. But if I had to say my overall favorite, where we would just get in there and cut up, we would do We Fall Down. So Donnie McClurkin, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. So we would do that. The song would start off very typical. We fall down. Somehow my dance teacher got someone to do some crazy type of club mix on this song. So it became, throughout the piece, it became very fast-paced. It became very just edgy. That's the word I would give We Fall Down. It was very edgy, and it was very just like we up here cutting up, and so that was definitely one of my favorites, especially because in that piece, you really didn't know where dancers were going to be coming from. It's kind of like exit, enter, exit, enter. You didn't know. And that was what made it the piece that it was. That's what made it just like talked about from everybody. Everybody loved this song. Loved this piece. So we would always close out the show with We Fall Down, and it was typically all white. Everyone had on white. But the cool thing about We Fall Down is that it was 12th grade to 6th grade. So it was like a big finale, and everyone had a part. So yeah, that was my favorite. But I'm literally getting off track and off topic. Where I was getting with that was, since I did go to a performing arts school, and at my old church, I was in the praise dance team. But when I went off to a new church, praise dance became my personal ministry. I was not on the praise dance team at the new church. I was a soloist, so they would have me dance a lot. I danced for my now cousin's sister's funeral. I danced to Stand, but not the Donnie McClurkin version. I danced to Chrisette Michelle's version. I danced there. We, went to that church. I can't exactly, for me personally, that church just was not my church style, and that's what I'm going to get into. But it was more like I'm a teenager. I still live at home with my mom. I have to go where she goes. And I think that is definitely important. When we're raising our children, and as a millennial, I think I'll definitely take a different approach to that. And I'll still make sure, Kennedy is raised in a church, but I want to also make sure that she's getting everything fulfilled that she needs to. I don't want her to just feel like she's going to church. When I was younger and I was in children's church, I did feel fulfilled. Like, I did. It's just the new church, being also just young, a teenager, just being able to relate to things was very, very difficult for me. And so, I gotta just sat there. But yeah, praise dance became really big in my ministry. So let's just fast forward a little bit to going off to college. So when I went off to college, we also had a church in our student union. It was kind of like a student-ran church, but the pastor would come from Toledo, which was about 20 minutes from my school, and he would do a 3 p.m. service on Sunday, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about. 3 p.m., college kids, this is how you get, kids of our age to come to church. 3 p.m., that's perfect. And I really enjoyed that church, and that's kind of when I tuned into the type of pastor and leader that I wanted to be, a part of, because I was able to see how he, related things to life. I feel like a lot of pastors, especially older. Yeah, I feel like a lot of older pastors, they're just very Bible, let's just call it Bible-y, by the book. We'll call it by the book, because the book is the Bible's a book. And I just cannot get with by the book teaching. Of course, I expect you to know the book. I expect you to know the word. I expect you to throw out scriptures, but I don't expect you to try to relate that to 2013, 14, 15. It's impossible. And then you have some people who, if it's not by the book, it's like, no. So with this pastor, I just really noticed that he definitely related things to life, and he knew his audience. He knew his congregation. He knew, what would get us. And he used that, and I loved it. So yeah, that's when I, kind of decided what kind of leader and teacher that I wanted. So after school, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, as you guys know, Phoenix, Scottsdale. I lived in Phoenix my first year, Scottsdale my second. And during this time, I definitely struggled with finding a church that I thoroughly enjoyed. And the reason I struggled is because I had visited this one church, and I was like, I like this. This is cool. Then I went the next time, actually the next couple times, and the pastor just was not prepared. It just was like, I don't really have anything prepared today, so I'm going to come up here, I'm going to make you guys shout, and then we're going to go home. So we're going to shout, scream, sing, and go home. And when that became repetitive, I was like, no, this is not going to be the church for me. And so from that point, I decided that I was going to start streaming church. So as you guys know, I am from Cleveland, Ohio. And one of our huge mega churches in Cleveland is called the Word Church. And Pastor R.A. Vernon is the pastor at that church. A lot of people have a lot of different views on the Word. And I think it's just one of those, you either love them or you don't. Me personally, sometimes I did find myself discouraged by how money was such a big factor at that church. But then when you've seen things that he was doing for his, for his members, and, just in the community, you kind of be like, okay, well, you do need money to do that. And I think it starts to reel in that, I work for a nonprofit. A lot of people can say, oh my gosh, you guys, spend a lot of money. This is my second nonprofit, actually, that I've worked for. But it's like, well, sometimes you have to, you have to put out to produce. And that's kind of where I was with Pastor Vernon. I was like, clearly you have money, but you're also an author. You also, you do other things. And so when I see this money being asked for, I also see that it's clearly being distributed. And that's important. So that's where I am with him, because I know a lot of people, like I said, just have very mixed signals about him. But I thoroughly enjoy his work. I thoroughly enjoy it. He's so funny, relatable. I just really enjoy it. So I started watching that, I'd say, in Arizona. As you guys know, I had a baby. I'm literally talking 2 years ago. And so I kind of continued to just kind of watch Pastor Vernon every Sunday. Pastor Vernon, just kind of live streaming him on my phone, because I wasn't there. And then I've really been watching him literally up until right before Easter. So right before Easter, I'd have to say March. Yeah. March is where I discovered, January, February-ish is where I discovered Sarah Jakes Roberts. So a little backstory on Sarah Jakes. Everyone used to tell me that was my twin, and I'm like, I don't even know who this girl is. Now looking at her, I don't feel like she's my twin. I feel like we have a lot of the same just ways about ourselves. So yeah, I was always told, and then I stumbled upon her just kind of an Instagram clip of her, And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this, first off, this woman is bomb AF. Like, she's so bomb. And she's so real. And she's so dang on petty. And I was just like, I love her. So I started to watch a lot of her YouTube videos. And this is this year. I started to watch a lot of her YouTube videos. I started to take notes and notes and notes and notes and kind of just like live in her work. And it got to a point where I found myself making sure that I was getting in at least an hour of the word a day. And that's a huge, 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 huge number one commitment. But that is just huge in the way of, you're just like, you know what, God, I'm letting you in. You know, I'm making sure I make this time for you. I'm making sure, you know, I can give you an hour a day. Like, I can. Like, and, you know, I got to the point where I was, you know, of course, waking up, praying, all that. But I just felt like this isn't enough time. This, you know, I'm not given enough time. And so, I gave more. I gave more till I felt fulfilled, till I felt like he had me. And, you know, like I said, I've always been into the church, but up until lately is when I feel like I've kind of just been like, Jesus, God, have your way with me. Have me. Take me. Like, take me. Mold me. Do whatever you need to do. This is literally the first time, you know, that I've been this just vulnerable to God. And that's huge. You know, and it's like the first time really me saying it to myself. But that's huge. You know, it's like, here, do what you gotta do. So yeah, I found myself watching her more and more and more. And then my sister sent me this relationship series from Pastor Michael Todd at Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've stalked them because I really want to go to a live service. But my sister sent me this link to this relationship series. And I found myself every single day watching this relationship series, taking notes. I literally have a notebook full of just notes, you know, from Sarah, from Pastor Todd, you know, from my new church. And I was so locked into this relationship series. It made no sense. I was so locked in. And so that made me start wanting to watch his services live stream. So I did. It came to a few weeks ago when I said, and I mean, we've visited churches here. They just have not been the perfect fit for me. And that's okay. But it is important to know that your church has to be the fit for you. So you can't find a church based off of where your mama go, your daddy go, your cousin go, your baby daddy go, your baby mama go, your sister go. You have to find the perfect church for you. And that may not be the perfect church for someone else. And that's okay. But a couple weeks ago I said, I need to find a church home. I said, God is using me, but he's using me, but it's like we're in this like long distance relationship, you know. I'm like, God, I need to be in your home. I need to be up in your house, you know. And I was just like, no. Live streaming is great. I still, to this day, like, I have not stopped at least an hour of the word during the week. But I said, I need a little bit more. And so I'm going to need you to invite me on over. And so one day I was just scrolling on Facebook a few weeks ago. And I came upon this church. Now, I was very intimidated because I thought this church was going to be like this huge mega church. And I love mega churches on the sense of watching them. But I think in person, as a church home. I don't know. I don't think I would be a good fit for a mega church. I don't think mega church would be a good fit for me. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna go. So I went. Kdot and I were literally greeted by the first lady immediately. And it's a very small church, very new church. And so you're growing with this church, and that's one of my favorite things, is that I feel like it's definitely a church that I would grow with. And so we went. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And then we went the next week, and now this is the third week that we will be going. So hopefully we, decide to join, possibly. I do want a church home. I do want my child baptized by the time she's 2. I want that to be like part of her 2-year-old thing. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to keep you guys updated, because I know I had it on my vlog, and I just, I was just like, maybe they just don't know, but, am I really yawning going into work? But yeah, I just want to be very transparent with you guys, from now on, and, just kind of let you know things, and let you know what's going on. Hope this video wasn't too all over the place. I hope you guys got the gist of it. But let me know. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions. If you rather, email me, DM me. You don't want it like out and open, that's fine too. But yeah, let's just chat. And, I think this is the type of journey that people have to go on their own. No one told me, like, okay, you need to start live streaming church. Okay, I had to tell myself that. And once I did tell myself that, God said, I got you the rest of the way. You did the gist. I have you the rest of the way. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.